Welcome everyone, it's Reekyracer here with another episode of Special Transport DLC. As you can see, we've just pulled up in front of another Walmart. I'm actually in Socorro, New Mexico, and we will just jump inside the truck and hit enter to take our job. This time around we are taking the huge construction. It's 40 foot, 16 foot, 13 foot, but it's 60 ton, so fairly a decent load, and it looks like we're going all the way to Tucson, Arizona. $35,497 job. So it does have the setup on the back on this one because it is such a heavy load. Looks like some sort of desalination plant or some sort of piping for a, or maybe for a power station. Who'd know? Fair bit of pipe work there, big framework. So we got all of the things that we have to pay attention to, and it looks like we're going straight out in front of us. So we've got the big long load, as you can see there. What a monster. This is going to be fun. Anyway, we'll jump back in the truck, put the diff lock on, turn the park brake off, put it into gear, and off we go. Not sure how long this actually says it's going to take. It says it's going to take 10 hours. So we'll see how this goes. Might end up having to split this one into a two-part just for the length of the video. But we will see how we go. Because 10 hours, that's a huge day. That would be one of the longest trips I've actually done with this Special Transport DLC so far. Usually they're up to about 6 hours I've seen so far. Looks like we've got to turn, not this corner, but the next one. And as you can see, it is a fairly wide load, so we will have to keep this one a fair way off. I can't see how vehicles are actually going to get past us on this fella. But anyway, bring it right out wide so we don't hit that light post. Like that. Nicely around the corner there. That is just a monster of a trailer. Turn the diff lock off now because it is nice flat ground, and we are doing 25 mile an hour now. We've got the momentum going, so we should be right. So yes, this is going to be an all-day job by the look of it. 400 odd miles to drive. So not sure whether I'll make this into a two-part or whether I just compress this a bit and take out a bit of the journey, the boring bits in between. Not sure yet. We'll see how we go. And as you can see, I'm still in the W900 Kenworth. I'll probably run the last 4 loads with the Peterbilt just to give you a bit of an idea of what the Peterbilt looks like, bonnet wise, cab wise, and pulling power. We'll see what type of engine configuration I can get with that one, and maybe put a different engine again in that. If I'd really thought about it, I probably should have actually done a Volvo engine in that very first Volvo truck instead of the Cummins, just so that you can see the comparison between the Volvo, the Kenworth with the Cat, and the Cummins in the Peterbilt. But we will see what type of motor I can get in that one. and if there is something besides the Cummins or the Cat, I will try and run it. This one we just got to make sure we're way over on that white line, because it looks just there like we're just on the edge of that yellow line on the left hand side. So I think if we stick right over this edge, even if we do hit the ripple strips every now and again, it's not going to make that much difference. Alright, we've hit top speed finally, and now we can throw it into autopilot and be just a steering wheel attendant. Give them the room as well, even though he is pushing them over. I'd like to be able to have a run without actually hitting anything, although I haven't done too badly really. As you can see, just giving them plenty of room on that left hand side that they can come down, no worries at all. I'm running on that ripple strip every now and again, not that you can really notice it. As long as my tyres are pretty much on that white line or just the left of the white line, I think we'll be right all the way. So there you go, third person view while we're going down a decently straight line. Hey, we've got some satellite dishes over there to our left. Oh, get back on the road, Reeky. Going over a train line here. Make sure we're wide enough that we don't hit Mr. Truck there. As you can see, it is a huge big load. Oh. Watch it, getting a bit wobbly. There's the other escort vehicle behind us. And now I'm in the shoulder, which is fine. So there you go, a bit of a look from the outside in the outside world. Jump back in the cab. Get back over. It's a fairly stable load. You can see it wobbling around a little bit up the back there as we're going around these corners. I do actually have the trailer and truck stability set lower than standard, just so it gives it that little bit more of a wobble and a move around. It looks like we're coming into a little bit of forested area. A bit of a hill, and you can see for miles. Nice flat terrain to drive on. It looks like my truck is actually picking up speed, so I'm going to have to just hit the brakes a little just to bring it back down to that 40. Don't want to run up old mate's backside. As you can see, the oil temperature is sitting about 90 degrees Celsius and water temperature at about 85. So it's given it a little bit of a workout today. but nothing too drastic. Being a brand new truck as well, with I think it's only got less than 1,500 miles on it, shouldn't have a problem, I wouldn't think. I'm not sure, I've never actually owned a truck long enough to know whether you get issues with them after they've done 100,000 miles. To be honest, I've only just cracked 100,000 miles myself in total driving. Usually I only ever keep my trucks for 10,000 miles and I palm them off to my drivers. I like to be the first one to drive the truck. It looks like we're coming through a little town. Got a couple of gas stations, a couple of little shops. Bit of a market going on out front there, fruit market. Oh. Gotta try and get back over to that right hand side. I was way left. That's better. Alright, we're back over again. As you can see, we're getting a bit of buffeting there as we go around the corners. Nothing too major. It's fairly stable. It's not pulling me around or anything like that. So yes, it is very good money. I think this job's worth 35,490. That's just your base income, without adding all your extra skills, your driving skills. And as you can see, it is 40 foot long, 16 foot high, 13 foot wide, or could be 16 wide, 13 high. I'm not sure how they work those dimensions. All we know is the 40 foot is the length. I suppose if we had a bit of a look at it, we'd probably work it out. It's probably 16 feet wide, 13 feet high, I would say. Another big long straight stretch here. We might throw it in the third person again just to put it out there so you can actually see the length. So it's a huge trailer. Just not so good off this third person going backwards, because then your steering wheel is backwards. There you go, lots of axles. So we're displacing the weight over a big, huge area. Not really sure why they run this back articulation. You would think that the 3 axles there plus the 3 axles at the front would be enough of a weight displacement, but maybe they just put that there just for a bit more weight displacement. Not really sure. As you saw there was a few tumbleweeds running by. Keep that out there like that for the moment. A little town coming up on our left hand side with a church. Our farm shed on the right. So graphics are really nice on this game. Well detailed. See a long way into the distance. The rendering isn't too bad. Oh yeah, there was a little biplane over on that right hand side. A little crop spraying biplane or something. I'll jump back into the cab again. Put our mirror back on. Whoa. That was interesting. Very close to hitting that concrete barrier there. Did seem to get around it though, which is a good thing. I'm just glad that there's not so much traffic. Whoa, that aeroplane going straight over the top of us there. That's cool. He's a bit of a pushy old fella, this bloke out in front, making sure all the vehicles are right over every time, which I suppose is not a bad thing. So as you can see, it looks like there's a big rest area there. It's not actually marked on the map, so I'm not sure whether it's a rest area or just a scenic area so you can take photos. They've added a lot of new rest areas into the game, because I know originally it was very hard to find somewhere to park so that you had good timing, sort of thing, if you know what I mean. But now with a lot more rest areas in the place, you can actually cruise along a lot further along on your journeys and sort of time it out right, which is good to see. Just shows that they're looking at the game and trying to improve it all the time. And there are so many mods you can put into this game if you really want to. I mean, I know with my Euro Truck Simulator I have one of the big Scania 8x4. No, I think, yeah, 8x4 dual steer Scania. I've got a lot of the grille flashing lights. They are all mods. A heap of different mods for the interior as well, so you can have all sorts of neon lights in the back of the truck. And yeah, so if you do ever want the mods for the game, it's not hard to find nowadays. You just go straight to the mod workshop, the Steam workshop on your Steam page, and pretty much just subscribe to everything, and then when you start the game up, you go to your mod manager and you can just add mods as you like. Looks like there's a lot of traffic here, and now he's going to pull right over to the left, to the right hand side, so we'll jump over into the right lane, and we're back onto a dual carriageway. There is going to be a lot of traffic behind that wants to get past us, so this is going to be very interesting here, I think. And it looks like we're going to have to slow down for this set of traffic lights. There is trucks in front of us. I'm not sure whether they're going to get off the road for me, or whether he's just going to go straight ahead and just keep going. Because we are in this, we can ignore that traffic light. We don't get fined. We are going to have to drive a little bit wider here, because it does look like those trees and telegraph poles are right on the edge of the road. There's a lamp post right on the edge of the road. So not going to be able to let anyone pass through the town of Sholo. It looks like these guys are going to be pulling up again. That's about as wide as I want to be. Well, I can't do anything, mate, because I'm too wide, so don't get ahead of me. Come on, buddy. You need to get out of my way. Okay, here we go. So we're just going to have to roll along here. A bit of an awkward situation with old Bud here on the left-hand side. He needs to just go and get out of our way. And that is the problem with coming into a town like this with lamp posts that close to the road. You're actually taking up both lanes. I'm trying to keep between the escort vehicles, buddy. I am keeping it in between. What am I going to do? Knock over all the lampposts. Maybe that's one thing they need to look at there, is not having that, because you do actually have to sit out fairly wide on that lane. These lampposts aren't too bad because they're inside the guttering, but those other ones, no, I can't go anywhere, buddy. We've got, oh well, I will try. He wants me to go, so I will go. There you go. We got through there alright. That's how you do it when people won't get out of your way. Alright, now that we're out of the town again, we can get it back up to 40 mile an hour once more. And we may actually leave it there, being that we're about halfway on our journey. We've got about 4.5 hours left of the journey, 200 miles, so we might leave this half of the episode here, and because it is about 22 minutes now, so I'm trying to keep these into 20-minute episodes for you guys, so you don't have to sit around for too long and watching me do all this. So I thought a 20-minute episode's nice and quick. But anyway, we'll leave it here, and if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button for me, and if you did like the video, hit that like button for me, it helps out so much. And also hit that little bell, then that way you will get all the notifications of my uploads when they drop. I do live stream 6 PM Pacific Standard Time Fridays on Hunter Classic and Hunter Call of the Wild, so come along and join in the fun. It's always a great time in the chat, everyone has a blast, and we don't take it all that seriously, although we do, it is serious as well, but we do have a good time with it. But anyway, we will leave it there for today and catch you another time. Bye.